Okay, welcome everybody. I'll call the regular meeting of the Architectural Review Board for Monday, January 12th, 2026 to order. First item is regular business, and I'll do the roll call. I'm Andre LaFerriere, I'm chairman. Denise Alec is vice chairman, she's on board. Ed Armstrong, secretary, he's on Zoom. Dan Teresa Watford, Michael McGinnis, member, and Teresa's a member. Item B under 1 minute, we'll move that to the end of the meeting. And we'll go into sign applications. Item A, EOS, Greek Peterson Bowles. Is anybody here representing them?
No.
Okay. We'll take that and put that aside, I imagine.
Maybe they'll come. You know about it.
Maybe they'll show up later. Okay. So the other two items we have are referrals. And the first is SHM Safe Harbors, Berry Point Marina. Either one of you want to give us a background, a little presentation of what you're doing here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we pulled Del Simmons up on the screen.
Yeah, we have the architect on, but while we're getting him squared away, we basically there's an existing structure that's in poor repair that we'd like to take down and build a new structure on.
Yes. You are here for?
Safe Harbor.
Oh, Safe Harbor, okay. How's that for timing?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. Del Simmons can speak more about the, like the compliance aspect of it and whatnot, but.
Well, hi, folks. I would like to share my screen now. Can I do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I use the view button? Is that what I use?
There's a
Pardon?
button at the bottom of the screen. It says share screen. There's a green
Oh,
arrow.
I see it. Okay, good. Thanks, Denise.
Sure.
Okay, so can you see this? Here we are.
Yes, almost.
All right, now can you see this
Yes.
image?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. This first image is a Google site plan showing the proposed building highlighted in yellow, superimposed over the existing building in gray, as you can see. Here's the new building, and the existing building here, the footprint is at here, and also it's kind of a T-shaped structure. And the proposed building is smaller than the existing building. So this is for starters. The second image is, see this shape right here? Here we are on our site plan showing here's the line of water. And here's the building, the new building, proposed building. It's sitting over the site of the existing building. Now, the second image shows the building with recessed wall sections per the neighborhood wall standards. The articulation says you can see these areas here are recessed. Rather than it being a flat plane along, these are recesses along here and here to conform with the neighborhood standards. This is the standard that we conformed to, the 80-foot length. Anything over 80 feet length requires a 30-foot wall recess. And that's exactly what we did. So if I jump out here, again, these recesses, as I showed them here, and that carries all the way around. In the standard, it also says for anything that is less between 40 and 80, you have architectural elements, you don't need to have the recesses. So that particular piece applies to this area here where we've got this 50 by 50 bump out. This building right here is largely storage, and this area here is a ship. This is where service occurs for the boats that are in storage if they want to pull an engine, I guess, or whatever. And then this area has an office up above it. So let's talk about the look of the building. This image right here is a marina that we did in 2010 it's the Brewer Ferry Point Marina, which was approved by the Architectural Review Board in 2010. And this is the look that we propose for this new marina. It has a concrete wall at the base. It has trimmed in white windows inserted into the center of each bay. It has 12-inch corner boards that will run at the corners. It has vertical siding. You can see it here around the windows. And it will be in 2 different colors, which I will show you. And it has an uninterrupted fascia at the top that runs around the building. Now for the next image that I want to show you. This is the view of the exterior of the building. And each one of these recesses, each one of these areas in gray is a recess. So this, oops, nope, it's not going to work. Okay, the recess, I'm going to run my cursor over where the recess is. It does not go all the way through to the top. It just is in the bays. And that's typical as it marches around the building. Now this, again, let's talk about it as compared to the image that I showed you here. This building will also have the windows. It's going to have flood vents in the concrete base. It's going to have 12-inch trim boards at the corners and then also at the corners of the recesses. So it'll be in and out pattern on each elevation. The doors, as you can see, will have a nautical theme. The electric panels are required to be raised above a base elevation and put on the wall. And there will be a staircase to access them. I talked to you about the flood vents. The lighting, as you can see here, 20 feet off of the finished grade to a light fixture. And these light fixtures, as you can see here, are the light fixtures around the building. Now, the next image I'm going to show you is this is the neighborhood standards for the medium commercial dark sky of 0.20 foot candles. So that's what we conformed to. And in my set here we are. Here's our building, north elevation. Just a reminder, there's the north elevation. There's the water on that side. Oops, I'm sorry. Here's the water on this side here. And this is the light pattern. This is the light pattern of the 0.2. This is actually the pattern of 0.1 elevation. 0.2 is in from that. So this is the light pattern. There's your boundary line outside. And here it is on this end. Here is the boundary here. And we don't have any lighting on this side. And this side, all we have, going back to my my elevations, I can show you what we have on that side. is 2 doors, 2 exit doors with light fixtures above, just means of egress lighting. That's all there is on this north elevation. So that completes the presentation on the building. And if you have any questions, I am very happy to answer them.
Thank you, Dell.
You're welcome.
May I ask, the height of the new proposed building, how does that compare to the existing?
The height is 34 feet. And what is the height of the existing building there? I know the regulation is 35 feet. So this building is 34 feet. I can give you an answer to that, Denise,
That's
but I don't have it at my fingertips.
no worries. And do you have details on the light fixtures themselves that you're proposing?
Yes, I do. And here they are. Oh, let's see. They're here.
We're on the lighting plan, Dell.
Yeah. Here are the fixtures.
Thank you.
These are the fixtures. And this is the light. This is the light pattern that they show. That's the distribution. And these are our 2 fixtures that we have. 6 of one type and 3 of another type.
Okay.
So those cuts there are on the light drawing. Mikey has that right there in the office to show you if you want to have a look at it.
Thank you.
Anybody have any other questions, Ed?
Yeah, Mr. Simmons, excellent presentation, great design. I really like the way you referenced the standards. So awesome job. Thank you very much, and looks great.
Ed, that means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. You know, you want to get all the pieces and put it together so it's a complete presentation. Glad to help.
You actually set a standard. I wish all the applicants could see what you just did.
For 2020,
Thank you.
Yeah.
the new, yeah, love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you touched all bases. Mike, do you have anything you'd like to add?
It's very attractive.
No, and you know, I think it was wise to base it on an existing structure too. That was handsome. You know, I think that looked nice. I looked over all the material in some detail, and you know, in terms of the size of the sign and you know, illumination, it was a good photometric study. I guess my only question would be buffering. You know, you've got that steep slope. You know, the building, actually, if you go on Riverview or you go on Ferry Road, they'll never see the building much. You know, you can't even get down there to really see it. I took a couple of photos from Riverside, and you know, I don't see any need for buffering. It's in a very tight spot. You know, there's really no room for any kind of plantings. And I imagine your riparian setback is, you're all set with,
And we own a lot of the adjacent property as well, so.
okay, and the Corps of Engineers are all set with them and your setbacks?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's no problem. I have no issue with it then. I think it's a nice design. I think it was well done, well presented. And, I would make a motion that we accept this, well, it's, more of a referral, so we'll send a memo unless there's someone who objects. Basically, that's going to be the gist of the memorandum we sent to zoning. So I'm pleased with it, and I think I can speak for everybody on that. So it's all good. So thank you.
Excellent.
We'll put together a memo and if they get a copy of that.
Sorry, I was a few minutes late, trying to wrap up dinner. I got here, and not long was the take, so.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, Dell.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
What's the timetable?
Depends how quickly we can get through this process.
Summer,
and
boat
then,
season.
The next process.
Dell,
is
you could
funding.
stop sharing.
You know, we'd love to get it done, this year, but, you know.
Kinda tight.
These guys.
It's a big building. You got over 20,000 square feet there.
Yeah,
It's,
and with the demo and everything, it might
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
yeah, no, it's good. Everything you guys do, would say.
We've got a few projects going on, as you
Yeah,
know.
well, you got that pavilion.
Yeah, that's on
Another-
Riverside, which we've done a demo, which talk about just that alone, cleaning up that piece of property. It looks so much better without those buildings.
Yeah. No, because everything you've done that I've seen, up in Deep River as well, you always do a nice job, so.
We're nothing without the environment that we work in, so.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
exactly.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Take care.
Okay. Okay, go on to item B under referrals.
Want to deal with a small company called Walmart.
Yeah, it's just a mom and pop operation.
Startup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll go places.
Who wants to start this off?
Well, let me first introduce myself. My name is Jeff Davis. I'm a permit coordinator for PB2 Architecture and Engineering. We're the architects of record for this project. In September, I attended this meeting via Zoom, and got all the information that and suggestions that came from that. I feel bad that I have to follow that presentation because
But your scope of work isn't this anyway.
yeah, we're not doing an entire building. We're just
Right.
Ben with Bowler, he has the civil side of things. So anything concerning, the lighting, or like the parking lot lighting, the parking lot signage, that's going to be on his side of things. My side of thing is basically exterior signs and paint. So I did send over via email this material right here. What I've done is created a full-size mock-up of existing conditions and what's being proposed. Was a suggestion from the last meeting, and there's also on the second page has the details of the particular signage. I can tell you right now, it's going to be not a whole lot different than what's on the building right now. It's going to be smaller. Existing on the building, I think there's 220 square foot Walmart signs with a spark at the end. The combined total of front and back signs is going to be just a shade over 120 square feet. So we're almost reducing everything by half on the building. I did get with the manufacturer of these signs. They said they can conform to the requirement that was back in September of 3,000
3,000 K.
3,000 K for temperature and 1,200 lumens.
Yeah.
I don't have a study that shows.
But that would probably present a successful study at that rate, because that's about the range a lot of things are in.
Right, and
That would
actually,
be-
the signs being smaller
Yeah,
than what's on the building. Now, some of the smaller comes from the fact that the spark is not there anymore. Walmart went from you must have a spark on everything. And then now we can get rid of the spark if we need to. So this turns into like a need to situation. As for the coloring of the building, I'm not sure. You have 6 copies of these. If you don't have one of it,
yes.
That nice thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Can I get one copy too for the record?
oh, sure, of course.
Thanks. Thank you.
I'll leave some extra for the people that are absent here. The coloring on the building is being simplified. the current Walmart blue, which is just called Walmart blue, is lighter in shade than what's going to be presented. What is going to be put up on building and made some color samples. I apologize if there's dog in here and there because my dog did not understand. No, stay away. So it's going to be colors on the building. We're going to leave the red brick alone. Which I can our building is going to be this gray tone, which is gauntlet gray. Walmart went from a 3-tone gray to just a 1-tone gray. So we got rid of the light gray Repose and the middle gray Dorian. So for you Oscar Wilde fans out there, the portion of Dorian gray is no longer going to be on the building itself. So basically that just simplifies the exterior of the building. It's also darker. So it's not stand out and have, here I am, as opposed to it's more subtle, more subdued. I don't know if you've seen other stores that were done within the last 5 or 6 years. Walmart had basically 3 colors on the building. So there was the gray, and if it's for the pickup area, it was bright orange. And for neighborhood markets, it's a kind of a neon green. So pretty much all that's gone. Everything is now more back to basics for what they want to do for the store. That is pretty much what I have. I do have other samples. This would have been a stud mounted letter. But there are no stud mounted letters on the building. We got rid of those. But the address numbers will be of this material. Here are some samples of the plastic that is going to be used inside the Walmart letters. They are diffusive. There's a sun side, and then there's the inside. I have those for you to take a look at.
No, definitely. Yes.
That I think is what I have among other things.
Yeah, no, you changed the type, you changed the typeface.
Yes, the font has changed.
Yeah, I like it better. It's a little tighter,
Do you know where that came from?
more Carney. Yeah.
That was actually, if you look at old pictures of Sam Walton, he had this old trucker ball cap. And that was the font that was on the word Walmart on his hat. So yeah, it's basically simplified the entire message.
Yeah, no, I like that approach to it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, onto signs. That's
Signs, parking lot signs or sign building signs?
no building signs. Those are fine.
Okay.
I think unless
No,
someone else
I
has
agree.
another comment on that, it's
Our
you know,
concern
it's what we
last
talked.
time
It's what we
was
talked about pretty much the last time before
Right.
you guys went to zoning. So it's nicely done. So, but it's the parking lot signs that I have some concerns with.
And that's going to be more on Ben's side
Yeah,
of things.
exactly. So
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Jednak with Bowler Engineering here on behalf of the applicant. Looks like Jeff and I are swapping spots in this instance. I was in with you at the September 8th ARB meeting. Came down with something a little bit over the weekend, so I didn't want to spread that in that nice cozy room there with everyone there. So I'm attending remotely here. I'll be able to share my screen in just a moment. Please let me know if you all can see it.
I can see it.
Great.
Thank you.
So I'm sure as you're all very aware of the Walmart in Old Saybrook, just to orientate yourselves, you see the Boston Post Road kind of plan view top of page with north pointing towards generally the bottom left. I can zoom into the site slightly. The main focus we'll be looking at is the assumed Walmart kind of lease area and premises. A little tough to see on this image, but it is displayed by this dashed gray line around the site. To begin, the existing pickup spaces, 8 in total, are located in this boxed area here. As part of the proposed improvements, there will be an addition of an online pickup dispense store located on the north face of this Walmart. They will then have their dispense path down into the newly proposed 11 pickup parking spaces through here. So as mentioned previously, we were at your September 8th ARB meeting. We also attended a September 15th zoning commission meeting, as well as a November 17th meeting as well. At each of those meetings, we garnered a lot of good feedback from the commission, and we were able to incorporate that into the plan set submitted before you today. To touch briefly on kind of the key items that have changed since the last you saw this plan set, we are now restriping all of the ADA spaces on site to be in compliance with the current standards. That includes the racer logo that Connecticut likes to see for all of their ADA spaces. All existing light fixtures on site within the Walmart lease area are going to be upgraded with new modern LED, dark sky compliant, full cutoff fixtures. They will also be adjusted in the field as needed to ensure of that 14-foot max height requirement. The only additional pole light out on site is located within the newly proposed pickup parking area to provide the proper photometrics and visuals for the site there. In addition, in terms of a parking lot landscaping, we are proposing 3 new parking lot landscaping islands with associated plantings to abide by the parking lot landscaping regulations. In addition, we received some feedback of some sightline issues, specifically towards kind of the northwest corner of the Walmart. There were some existing shrubs that were just a little too high, and if you were trying to leave from this drive aisle and take the turn out, it was cutting off all of the sight lines around the corner, presenting kind of a dangerous condition. With this proposal, all of those taller shrubs, I believe 7 in total, are going to be replaced with lower plantings. That way we can maintain the sightline visuals around this corner. In addition to all of that, we are reducing, speaking of signage that you had mentioned earlier, we are going to be net reducing the signage out there by 14. And when I say that, that does not include the proposed safety signage, including stop and pedestrian crossing. But in terms of the signage that's out there today versus what's proposed, there will be a net reduction of 14.
So how many will that leave?
So that will remain with 56 signs out on site, and that includes pretty much everything out there, including the fire exit, fire lane signage. We went ahead and included anything that could and would be called a sign within the parking area, and included that in that count.
You have a miscellaneous category of 15 signs going down to 10. What are your miscellaneous signs? Because you have a separate listing for fire lane and that sort of thing.
Yes. So for the miscellaneous signage, I can go ahead and all the signs are called out on the site plan, typically with a miscellaneous in between the parentheses. That includes a no idling shut off engine, a receiving hours within the truck dock area, the cart corral, thank you sign located on the cart corral, right in this location, that is to be removed. There is an existing banner located on the garden center fencing that's set to be removed, as well as a garden center hours located by the main garden center entrance. And lastly, a stop, no customer ahead sign set to be removed as it traverses around this corner.
Okay.
Last time you were here, I think most of us were somewhat concerned about lighting.
Mhm.
In that back area, in that parking area. Has that changed at all?
Yes, so with that feedback, all of these light poles on site, like I mentioned, are going to be replaced with those new modern LED, dark sky compliant, full cutoff fixtures. We have, as such, conducted an updated photometrics plan of the area as well, with all of the poles modeled at the 14 feet in height.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I don't remember seeing
But
that.
the total number, is it the same?
We will be adding one pole through here with a dual head in the pickup parking area.
Well, what is it gonna be? The quality of the light fixture itself, the lamp head, that will be adequate, add the adequate lighting?
Yes, exactly
Where we
right.
start. Okay. Yeah, in other words, it's the actual
quality,
unit. Yeah, yeah. That sounds fine. Yeah.
Ben, do you have a picture of the lighting fixture?
Yes, that I do. It's the EALS series for the Evolve.
Oh, thank you.
Now, are you gonna put those on new stanchion loopholes, or are you gonna modify the existing?
Modify the poles where we can. To confirm if whether or not they are at that 14-foot height. And if not, then either modified or replace the poles depending on the condition.
Yeah, I
And
was under the impression that some of them are 16 or 17 feet, I think. And so that's the only reason I asked that. One of the things that, though, I know land use doesn't care for as much is signs on the poles. So, I hope you're gonna make provisions for putting what you're keeping that's on a pole now in another location or another mounting. Because we don't put signs as a rule on light poles in town, just so you're aware of that. We're gonna just make a note of it in our memo, that's all. It'll be finally up to zoning, of course, but, we tend to look at that. I guess my real concern is in the so-called safety signs that don't exist in the rest of the parking lot. And it looks like you're putting a lot of vertical traditional stop signs up. And, with the lane markings, the actual pavement markings that you're showing, considering that they're covered at worst 2.5 months in the winter months, it's generally acceptable because they're big, okay, compared to what was there. I really don't see the need for all these stop signs, especially signs that say stop for pedestrians. Considering the other 2/3 of the lot don't have any type of devices or anything, and I'm not aware of anything tragic happening in the last 10 or 15 years, at the very least. So, this is just me, but I think that's overkill. I think that's too much because you're on a private perimeter road. That's not a public road. And so I don't think the necessity's there. Perhaps one or two on that blind curve, you might put one there on the very, what's that, northwestern, western end. You might put a couple of standard sizes, but a 36-inch 2-pole stop sign is, I think, a little overkill for a parking lot. That's all on private property. So, that's just my feeling on that.
and noted, the proposed signage for interior to the parking lot will all be the 30-inch stop sign on the one post, whether breakaway or in a bollard, depending on location. The 36 inches Walmart typically proposes at any site exit or entrance, but we're not going to be modifying anything out of the Walmart lease area.
Yeah, because that's, you don't have immediate access to public roads from your location. And as far as the stop for pedestrians, I really, that one I think is completely unnecessary. And our whole idea here is to try and keep down the clutter, whether it's a safety sign or a parking lot sign, which is why we have, and I noticed you followed it, the directionals. You have 4 directionals for your pickup area, and that's fine. You can't exceed that though, because again, that's going to start cluttering. And I guess my other concern, I think I might have mentioned this the last time you guys were here, is that your 11 pickup spots, okay? You've broken that signage down into 3 separate signs. And, just for the sake of, I don't know, organization, and again, reducing clutter, couldn't you put the same information on a single panel and put it on that post? At the very least, that would cut down the appearance of clutter.
Yep, and Walmart does have alternate signage when being advised by the AHJ on items such as this. So we can discuss with them and see if it would benefit this location to have a simplified pickup parking sign instead of the separate pieces.
Yeah, and all your lighting, you've already said it's 14 feet, 3,000 K. We like the warm lighting. We're warm in Saybrook. We like that. And we keep the whole town at 3,000 K if we could. There are a few people who were here before us and, they got to the 5,000 and it's a little white for us at night, a little bright. So I think that's good. You've done a lot of, you made a lot of good changes since the last time you were here. So personally, I'm very pleased with that. But again, I'm just concerned about the clutter, to reduce at least the stop for pedestrians. I mean, I just think that's patently obvious in a little parking lot because you're only 1/3 of the total parking spaces in the whole shopping center. And if they were compliant, if they were doing something, I wouldn't even be discussing this. I'd say fine, but you're not. You're being exclusive, and I know you're concerned about insurance and liability and the safety of your guests and your patrons, but. I think we can live without that. Stop signs, that blind curve, I happen to agree with that. I'm glad someone picked up on that. Because I know when my wife's with me, I always have her look out the right side so I don't get smacked by a truck coming around the
That was
corner.
the site, after I landed, it came down straight to site and went out that. It's like, that's an unfortunate place for a bush.
Oh, yeah, no. It definitely a need for an island there. You have to control the curve, but it certainly keep the line of sight. Ed, do you have any thoughts on this?
Walmart's a special place, and I have seen a lot of activity at the pickup spaces, so it is used that way. It's different than any other retail shop, but it does work. I do like your ideas, Andre, about reducing the clutter. But some of the safety signs might be necessary, at least a few, because sometimes people get a little bit too anxious to get out of the parking lot. But anyway, I came from Pratt Whitney where everything had to be signed. Everything had to have signage out in the machine shop. So I kind of draw a parallel with this. It's a busy place. It's used effectively. And then on the other hand, yeah, we have to try to reduce the clutter. I like the lighting. The lighting is coming out very nicely. Nice design. And I like the new wall signs.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big improvement. Yeah, I like I'm very happy with the lighting though. That's important. Yeah, if we can just look at that and you have a net reduction of 14, if we can just add maybe 4 or 5 more to that, and that would be fine. If you could combine the pickup signs, I think that would just help too. And you're not losing that signage, you're just changing its format.
Ben, what's happening with the trees, the net Are we increasing, moving, decreasing?
In terms of plantings,
Yes.
it's not really a like for like change. We're removing kind of the larger shrubs through this area and replacing with, you know, smaller kind of low pieces for this. The low scape, to quote it exactly. But in total, I believe it's 7 bushes being removed and 18 total plantings being replaced.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then I know one of the things that happens in that parking lot is that people like to go around the speed bump. And then there's some paving pothole issues as part of that. Are you planning to, I know you're planning to repaint the lines. Any thoughts on fixing a couple dips by those speed bumps?
When the contractor's out there, they replace any disrepaired areas. So if they do notice a pothole or anything, lines.
Yeah, what,
Yep.
where does the property, where does your lease property end? Because I know that area that Denise is talking about is where the trucks back into their loading
Yes.
dock at Stop and Shop. Now,
Yeah.
is that their area or how's that divided?
So this, if you can see my cursor, this is the Walmart loading area, and maybe the aerial might be able to show it a little better here. This was the Walmart controlled loading area, with this being adjacent tenant space.
Yeah, but I'm talking farther to the west, but
Right.
move down and where Stop and Shop is, right? That building right there. You see where the trailer trucks are backed into their docks? Is that around the end of your property? Where does that end?
So this isn't, we included it within kind of the Walmart control area just from a assumed
Okay,
lease.
so you would.
But it's
So,
not, yeah, this isn't Walmart controlled. It belongs to the adjacent tenant.
Yeah, okay, that dashed line. Okay, so Denise, you're right. That's where the speed bump is. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's anything that could be done about that, make it a speed dip. I don't know. And people would more likely go through that. And it's easier to plow too, by the way.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, a negative instead of a positive hump. But yeah, that's, you know, some concern. Or if you're gonna slow traffic down at that point because they drive around, just extend it, make it longer.
Yeah.
You know, so that would discourage people, you know, then they'd have to slow down for that bump. I know everyone's in a big hurry, but, you know, they would definitely slow down if you were to extend that, double its length.
Yeah.
Because that's in your, delineated space, so I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Yeah, we can look into extending that. I believe it might even factor into some of the trucks having to back in to the loading area. Yeah, extending it out might impact their loading zone, but something we can definitely look into.
Yeah, it may not, you know, it looks like there's an angled one that would avoid it. And it looks like their docks here, usually where those box trucks are and the one trailer is now, looks like it may not really interfere, at least not very much. And that would increase the safety aspect of that if you're going to do that. You know, because I wouldn't really want a load of Walmart lamps, you know, to hit that too quickly. That wouldn't be a lot of fun. Yeah, if you could look into that, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mike, you have any other thoughts? No? Okay, I think we have enough for a referral memo. So we're all in pretty much agreement of the things we discussed. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. So, okay, I think we're all set here. We'll put a memo together and you'll be copied, or however Janice decides to do it. She's the pro from Dover. She's the pro from Dover, I think. So yeah, it's you did a nice job though in remedying a lot of those things that we talked about in the past. So I think it looks good. And I'm especially happy with the lighting and what you're going to do out in that parking lot. You know, tidy that up.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Jeff. Thank you, Ben.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you all.
Feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you guys can't hear it too much here, but I'm on the up and up. No worries.
Good.
Well, Ben, you're just part of the sick ward up there on the.
Same here,
wall anyway.
Ben. I'm the same way.
It's everybody right now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, get your flu shot.
Yeah, 'tis the season. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Take care.
Excellent. Have a great night.
Thank you.
I don't think we really need that. You know, you guys are gonna go on to zoning next and, you know, they'll hold on to that,
Okay.
you know.
Thank you.
We're happy with it, you know,
Okay.
I mean, can't think of how I would decorate something with it, but.
If you like blue.
Or open
Yeah.
my own firm, so, yeah, no, we're fine, but thanks for bringing those in, though, we do appreciate that, we like to see samples, you know, we definitely do.
Yeah.
It's easier to get, you know, touchy-feely with it, in what the material is. Oh, that's good, okay,
Do you want to keep these extras or?
you wanna keep
Yeah,
them?
I'll just submit them.
I know we're going to get more.
Yeah, in case these folks wanna stop by and take a look at it, that'd
Thank
be
you.
super, great, thank you.
Let me know.
A big drawing,
Mhm.
All right.
my artifact,
If you,
big drawing, my
there's some
artifact.
information about the types of LEDs that we're planning on using in the signs themselves and more information on the plastic itself, I can provide that. I just did not have that with me right now.
Yeah. You guys have experience with the signs, that part I trust, so.
Yeah.
You know, again, our big concern always, Ed and I particularly, you know, we like that. That color temperature, that's important.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's
Yeah.
it's like it's yellow here.
Yeah, it is,
No, I mean, I do, as a hobby, I do astrophotography.
yeah,
And it's like I love dark skies. Dark skies are the best.
yeah,
You know, right in the middle of Bentonville, no, terrible.
Yeah.
But get way out into the Ozarks and look up.
oh, I can imagine what it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Our one spot is Deep River, you know, in the winter when we're doing the winter trains up there, I always like stopping there because it's actually pretty dark down by the Deep River Landing. And so I can spot a lot of the constellations. There aren't too many spots where we can see that in Connecticut, you know, so that's why we like to keep, you know, dark sky as much as possible.
Yeah. I'm for it myself.
No, it's a
Thank
good
you.
thing. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your station in Connecticut, yeah. Okay,
Go for it.
you can assemble
Referrals?
a referral, you kind of heard it, you know, we're pretty much in favor, you know, to reduce the clutter. And,
Okay.
Yeah, that's all, you know,
Okay.
and if they could save a few more, 5 or 6 more signs, that would be great. And yeah, I understand that, you know, some of the stuff is necessary, but you know, that's 3 signs, so take 11 times 3, that's 33, why not make it 11? And I can wrap my head around that, and it's the same thing, you're not changing anything, you know, that's fine. Okay. We have minutes and
I found one small change that's needed
okay,
for the election of officers. For me, it has that A. Lafreniere nominated Ed Armstrong as vice chair. That's vice chair should be changed to secretary.
yeah,
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
And can you put an H in my name?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what? I don't even do that part of this thing, so I'm just
yeah,
let you
want to get that right,
remind Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay,
okay.
you got it. All right. I guess
Okay.
we can't do, are we gonna do the signage?
We're gonna have to just
Postpone it again?
postpone it,
Okay.
yeah,
So
because
do we
there
put
were a
them on
couple
the
of things
agenda
we
for
had to.
minutes?
Huh?
Do we put them on the agenda for the?
He'll be on the agenda, I imagine, for the next one, yeah,
Okay,
and they'll notify him from the office.
okay.
Yeah, because there were a couple of other issues I had with, nothing big, but a few things I wanted to discuss with the site on what he was doing, because his measurements were odd. Yeah, I don't think he really understood it's like those other folks we had who didn't really quite understand, the instructions on that. So, but what I'll do is I'll make a motion
He didn't
to,
take Greek geometry.
I did math books, so.
No, he didn't.
No, he did. But I'll tell you, it was funny. We spent one year, we spent a whole summer in Greece. And when I got, God, everything's in Greek, right? And I talked to my boss who was in England. I worked for British math. We produce math books and science books, He said, oh, come on. He said, you have to do the math. I said, yeah, it's just a lot of work. So I had it phonetically for about a week, sound everything out. Then I got it right, and then I could find someone. If I couldn't translate it, I'd find someone who could translate it. Okay, I would make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended for December 8th meeting.
Second,
Mike seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. And I guess the next thing we would do is just take and we can discuss that if you want after, a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
Nice
Any
to
further
see you.
discussion? All in favor?
aye.
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 Okay.